I would probably consider myself, would have probably considered myself to be an atheist at a very young age, and I'll tell you how that happened. My parents went to two different churches, and I would go to those churches, and I never heard the gospel, and obviously never heard the gospel, or my ears were not open to it at those churches. So I got very confused about what I believed, and so I decided to become an atheist. This was around 7th grade. I didn't see there being any consequence to that because I didn't know the gospel. So it just felt good to believe that I didn't believe. So, and I remember somebody saying the word atheist means you don't believe in God, and I remember saying that's what I am, and that's just what I'll be. I'll just be an atheist. And I remember it feeling good in my heart because I believed something, but it probably was what fueled the next year was when I was going to become a Christian. I got invited to a Bible study. And this lady in Birmingham, Donna Green, who has ministered to many, many women and girls in this city, she was teaching, and her sidekick was Anita Barker, who was Bob Barker, who was Reverend Barker's daughter, and she was working with Donna. So I was sitting there in this class, in this little Bible club, and filling out a little form every time Donna would say, and we are, saved by, and then there'd be a blank, and somebody would say Grace, and we'd all write down Grace and think, what does that mean, And as the little sheet went on, and she would ask questions and girls would pipe up and answer, I became more and more confused about what she was talking about. And I became really like as if I was sitting in a math class and I didn't understand the math problem. I felt like extremely frustrated about it. And so she would go through these, these little questions and answers, and I became angry because I realized that nobody had told me any of this. This was new. I was in the 8th grade and nobody had told me any of this. And that was so hard. I was mad. So I went up to Anita, and all 5 feet of her, and I towered over her even in the 8th grade. And I said, and I opened my mouth and nothing but tears came out. And I just said, I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't understand what you mean when you say, ask Jesus to be in your heart. I don't know what that means. And she, with her sweet little voice, she's like, well, honey, you want to go out to dinner? We're going to go out to dinner. I'm going to explain it to you. Go call your mom and make sure it's okay that I take you. So I went and called my mom, and I said, Mom, I'm going out to dinner with one of the leaders. She said, that sounds great. And I went, and we sat in what used to be Wanda June's and talked for about an hour, and she explained to me what becoming a Christian was and what it meant. I can probably imagine what she said. It's been so long, and I've heard the gospel so many times since then. But I imagine as she's talking to somebody that doesn't believe anything, I think what she probably did say to me was, this is a free gift. God hands down to you. I remember vaguely her saying, God hands down this gift to you, and you can either take it or not take it. But taking it means life, and not taking it means death. And so I just thought to myself, I wasn't afraid. It was God's time for me to take that gift, and just talking about that I would never be alone ever again, that I would never feel alone, that I always had the Lord, that He would come and live in my heart. And I was very confused about living in my heart, what that meant, but she explained the Holy Spirit to me, that He does come and live in your heart and helps you with your daily walk, your daily decisions, and the way it changes your heart. And so I accepted at that moment, I accepted Christ into my heart. There was no crisis in my life that I could say I was searching so hard for something. Simply being said, it was the first time I had ever heard the gospel. That's what made me so angry, was I had been at church and I didn't hear it there. That's what made me so hurt, because I was like, they missed an opportunity. They missed a chance. But I also look at it as God's perfect plan for my life, to become a Christian like that, in a Bible study, one-on-one with a leader, that could answer so many questions that I had. It was so special. It really was. And I remember not feeling any different, but going home and getting a notebook and starting to write a letter to God, dear God, and it started, I had stacks and stacks of these notebooks all the way through high school. Kind of got a little shoddy around college, but I would just write these letters, and they were basically my prayers written down. But that's how I became a Christian. There's two different parts to my testimony. There's how I became a believer, and then there's also later on when I lost my hair and what happened with that.